Hi, Facebook. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. Hello, delightful treats. How are you, beautiful? I'm excited to get your delightful treats in my home. Pumpkin, cheesecake, all that good stuff. So I'm excited. Who else is on here? Flower of life. How are you? Strength is within. The balloon maven, you got to call me. You and I have to talk today. Strength is within. Yes, I want lemons. You send me the request today. I definitely want lemons. It's been a really busy day, guys. So, ayuda en español. Enjoy your trip that you're taking. Fun size for you. Hello. All right. So let me see who else is on here. I just want to see who else is on here. So again, if this is your first time, post that it's your first time. If it's not your first time, welcome back. For those that it is your first time, my goal is that it's not your forever. So, I mean, it's not that if it's your first time, I don't want it to be your last time. I want you to come in and keep coming. So thank you for the love. First timer, great. What city are you tuning in? City and state, because we have people from all around the world watching us. And so definitely would love to know where you guys are all tuning in from. And I am excited to introduce this story. We actually, we're going to make sure that she jumps on shortly. We decided to, because we're both pregnant and I've had a very long day. She'll be jumping on shortly on the live. So I won't say who it is. You probably all know who it is by me saying that, but I'm gonna wait until she actually jumps on just because I am. So let's just go ahead and get started on a few things. If it's your first time, put what city. If it's not your first time, hey, Vanessa. If it's not your first time, okay, great. Let's get you on here, girl. Just put one thing you're grateful for. So I can tell you there's so much to be grateful. I woke up with such a grateful heart, not just because it's Thanksgiving. Like I've been in this grateful mind space. And one thing I'm extremely grateful for is, hey, Raquel, I'm grateful to little by little allow myself to see life from a different light. That's really what I'm thinking. Like I'm grateful to now, yes, I get stressed. Yes, I get tired. Yes, I love my family. We call our baby our little nugget. But I'm grateful that I can see life from a different perspective. And I'm sure that once we become parents, that's even going to change. But why do I say that is because I woke up thinking, man, there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world. And I have everything that I need. I have a beautiful home. I have a beautiful family. I have a super cute dog. I have clients that I love. I'm not kidding you. Today, what got me through my day were my clients. First off, just my first client brought me, and she's not a client, she's also a friend. She brought me Whataburger sauces because I didn't get a chance. Well, the 2 times that I was in Texas, I didn't get a chance to try them out. She brought me some, which I thought was super amazing. And then later on, I'm grateful for my assistant to be able to help me in all of my crazy ideas. And then her boyfriend, who was going to come see me today, she literally was like, Eva hasn't really eaten. She's taking a 15-minute break, and I don't wear that with the badge of honor, but I say that because his mom made tamales, and I have right now 2 plates of tamales, green and red, and I happen to be craving lime lays, and he brings this big old bag. And I'm sitting there as I came home, I was like, I'm so grateful for that. I'm so, so, so grateful for that. So, again, just one of those things where it's just a beautiful thing. So, to have those opportunities. Hey, we got it on. Okay, great. So, hi, really quickly. For all of those, thank you for giving me those moments of gratitude. And so I'm just grateful for all of the amazing things that have happened in my life. I mean, I can go on and on and on about all that. But today, as you guys know, I've been doing a series of stories, of success stories. And remember, everybody's success looks differently, first and foremost. And for those that don't happen to know who we're sharing the screen with, can you do it also on Facebook by any chance?
No, I'm not logged in. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, that's fine. So what I'll do is I'll actually do this. So for those that don't know, don't mind my kitchen. For those that don't know, shoot, here we go. If you don't know who she is, her name's Ivy Love on so actually now Ivy Love Shop, right, Ivy?
Yes, it's Ivy Love Shop comp because we started a new Instagram page. My old one got hacked.
Okay.
So you guys can just add the new one.
Okay, beautiful.
And I'm today's my day off, so I'm like in PJs. I'm in bed.
Yay!
I took a day off.
And that's great. So let me tell you a little bit about Ivy. And so I'm going to put this on here. So for those on Facebook, you can't see her face, but you definitely know who's on there. I wish I had a little like picture of you right here. But for those that don't know, you know, her and I have been trying to get her story to come out, but she's pregnant. She's a busy mom. I was like, look, don't stress yourself out of it. You know, we're going to accommodate. Guess what? Business sometimes looks like days off. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, wear your PJs. I told her, I said, I need to get into my PJs. Give me some time to get into my PJs.
I'm in no makeup. I'm in a hoodie and leggings, and I'm like literally in bed. Today's my birthday in a long time.
That's exactly what you get to be in leggings in bed.
This is what my success looks like.
Yes, success is rest. Absolutely 100%. So remember, everybody's success looks differently. So why did I want to get Ivy onto our series of success stories? Because absolutely, she deserves it. Is because I remember day one of meeting her. I actually didn't meet her. I had a phone conversation with her. And it was something about her, like her Instagram handle. I didn't know who she was. Something about it told me, I don't know, but I really like this girl. And I trusted my intuition. And the day I actually met her was the day of my book launch, which was what, 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago? About 2 years ago?
Already?
I'm thinking about 2 years ago. And so when I met her, something about her I just loved. She even said, I don't have enough inventory. I said, I don't care. You're going to bring whatever you have. You're going to display it, and we're going to make it work.
I remember that phone call like it was literally I remember where I was. I remember hanging up and feeling like this is different. This is a good connection. Like I felt like we connected immediately. I was at a warehouse and there was chaos all over the place.
Yeah.
And I just remember like taking a few steps aside and being like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah. And so she showed up, right? I've never met her. She shows up. We connected. Don't know the girl, you know, I don't know Ivy, don't know really much about her. And, you know, connected with her, finally does a book launch. I see her stuff, love her stuff. You know, love her Empower Women Empower, right? The sweatshirt, it's super cute.
We launched it that day, I remember. It was like that week, and we brought it and sold out.
I was like, this is beautiful. Like, this is perfect. And so it was so amazing to be able to support that. And then later on in the journey, meeting her, and she has goals, right? Like, you have goals, Ivy. And I remember the conversation of,
I'm carrying one right now.
Oh, yay! The conversation was, I don't think I can afford to, then whatever your story was. So Ivy did the boot camp about how long ago?
A little over a year.
Yeah, about probably a year and a half ago, I think, if not more. So a little bit over a year. And I, you know, this was my experience of Ivy first. My experience of Ivy was, this woman doesn't know how powerful she is. She's a powerhouse. However, something needs to shift up here because her finances will continue to improve because I know that she's powerful enough to do that, right? That was my first, like, I know she's got what it takes. You go through the boot camp. She's scared shitless, right? Tell them a little bit about your experience of just like, okay, I'm going to do this. Like, shit came up.
Okay, so you have to understand that growing up in a Mexican household, first of all, our parents don't talk to us about money. Second of all, the ideal is that we're always broke, right? And the only way to purchase things or have some type of comfortable lifestyle is through credit cards and debt. And so now, me being a small business owner, a single parent, and you know, just really like a one-man show. I don't have a team. I don't have anyone who looks at my books or who's organizing anything for me. So the term financial planning and financial boot camp was just so scary to me, because I'm like, first of all, I don't have money to plan with. Second of all, I don't know how much money I make. My business, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. And that's how I pay my rent. That's how I pay my bills. That's how I make my car payment. That's how I go, take my daughter to musicals and dinners. And it seems like I'm always at zero. Like, I know there's money coming in, but I'm just always at zero. So really, like, I was just kind of like, I'm going to do it. I'm embarrassed. I don't know if I have to like disclose numbers to people, like how embarrassing, because I don't even know, when you hear that someone's a business owner, you assume that they have like some type of organization with their finances. And I'm like, I don't know how much money I make. It all goes into one pot. It all comes like, that's how I buy my business stuff. And that's how I pay for my personal stuff. So that was the mentality behind me even joining.
Yeah. And it was scary, right? Like, each class for you was like, do I really want to go through this? Like, ooh, right? Like, do I really want to?
Every week we had homework. Every week Eva said, okay, next week we're going to discuss anything that has to do with your car, whether it's like car payment, insurance, whatever it is. And then, you have to bring in whatever proof of insurance, whatever you have. And every week I was like, I don't even know if I have that. I don't know where it is. I don't have a login. Every week I was like, I'm so unprepared.
Yeah.
And as the weeks passed, it just got easier. And I realized I wasn't alone. And I realized that I think there was like a school counselor in our group, like people who like really, you would think they have their shit together, just how you would think a business owner has their shit together. We were all in the same, like,
everybody's thinking everybody needs to have their shit together, right? Like, everybody assumes, well, oh my God, I don't want to because I don't have it. Well, it was super embarrassing to expose, right, yourself. But everybody's thinking the exact same thing. I don't want them to know because I'm embarrassed. So to say that we were all, and everybody was in the same page, and everybody was looking at themselves from the, I don't have this, I don't have my shit together, whereas where I was completely neutral to, I was like, I don't care that you guys don't have your shit together. We're going to help you get your shit together. You know what I mean?
And the way you broke it down, I mean, I have to say just how awesome it was for me. The way you broke down numbers was like, it was like elementary. Like, it was very specific. It was like, we were able to say, wait, I didn't catch that. It wasn't like we're sitting there like, oh, okay, I don't want to ask questions. It was so great for us to be able to, whether it came to numbers or where do I find that on my whatever page I had. Sometimes I had to have printouts of our bank statements or our
whatever,
life insurance, whatever it was. And she would be like, okay, this is where you're going to find it. And, for someone who gets their mail and tears it in half before opening the envelope, I was like, oh, this is what it looks like.
Oh,
this is what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And all of that was just so great for me. And it's been like 2 years almost.
Yeah.
Life changing.
I remember the day Ivy bought her car. And I remember the like, what do you mean I can do this? And I'm like, okay, Ivy, let me break it down. She made a phone call. Like, I think you were, if not at the dealer, you were going to the dealer.
I was on my way to the dealer.
You were on your way to the dealer, right? And she called me. She's like, Eva, are you sure I should do this? Shouldn't I do X? And I said, look, Ivy, I'm going to break it down and I'm going to give you a scenario for you to understand what I mean. Yes, you can afford a car and pay off the car. You can write a check. I remember when you wrote that check, I felt, mind you, I don't have a daughter yet, right? I don't have a little baby. My babies are belly connected. But I was like, your parents didn't give you mentally the okay, yes, of course you can buy a car cash. Of course you can write large checks like that.
We finance everything. Everything's financed in our
everything. We think everything has to be financed. And so when Ivy was able to, from this, if you want to call it life-changing event, right? Because your car was done. It gave her the power to be like, no, I got this. I remember you bought your car and you wrote that check and you actually posted it on social media. And then
I'm so sad that page is gone, because that was like my diary. I was able to track like everything that I had gone through in the business. But just to give you guys a little bit of background on it, I totaled my car in October of 2018. Yeah, it's been a year. October of 2018, I totaled my car. I love that car. It's my work car. It's my office. It's my mobile office. And I was devastated because I had just paid it off in August. So 2 months prior to this accident, I had been debt-free from that car. And it was just devastating. It was unexpected, and I was planning to buy my daughter a car. I mean, there was just so many things that I was planning to do, and when that happened, I was kind of done. And I remember thinking, like, you know, my business is doing okay. Do I buy a new car? Do I buy a used car? Do I replace the old one with the exact same car? Just so many questions. And I remember like texting Eva. She was like my person for that whole month. Like, okay, so I'm looking at this. What do you think? And I'm looking at that. What do you think? Should I lease? Should I purchase? And when I finally found the car that I wanted, I found it. It was a great deal. But my question was, it's a great deal. I have the money, but should I just finance, because my payments would be like stupid low, and I just didn't want to take that big chunk out of my savings that I had, taken so much work to put aside. And she walked me through it, and she said, "This is what it's going to cost you if you finance it, and this is what it's going to cost you if you just walk in there with your check." And I was like, "Oh, I can't do this. I don't even know. Oh my God!" And just the drive there, I mean, I took my daughter with me. This wasn't the first car that I've taken out on my own, but just knowing that I would drive away having it paid off was just very foreign to me. Mm-hmm. And you walk into it, and I think we all need somebody like that, because most of us just feel like, no, just get the small payments. That way you don't have to. No, like right now, I've been driving that car for a year now. No car payments. My insurance is even lower because it's paid off. I mean, just everything was just the better route.
And the better route of it is when there's a chunk of money missing from your savings, it continues to motivate you to put it back as quickly as possible.
She did say that. She's like, you're going to borrow it from yourself and you're going to pay yourself back. Mm-hmm. You're not taking the chunk and just, it's gone. Every month you're going to put money back in. Since then, since I did the boot camp, my savings has multiplied by 6.
Yeah, which bought a car cash, multiplied her savings by 6 times more than what she would have had, all within a year and a half, from the same class that she feared because you didn't know, right? I remember Ivy came into my office and she's like, "Eva, this is my goal." And we sat down and we broke it down. We said, what does that look like for you as a small business owner? Because again, ladies and gentlemen, or most of my following is women, like I shared with her, I'm like, you're not the only single mother, and I no longer want you to think you're the small single mother. You're the powerhouse that has been raising a child as a single mother and still been able to go buy a car cash, still been able to provide for your daughter, still been able to provide a roof over her head, still run a business. So for me, it was to elevate her way of thinking that would get her to understand that if she removed this chunk, she would still be able to continue to save her income. And it kind of puts a little fire in your ass, right? Because you're very driven.
Because there was immediately that chunk, that money that was missing. And I think 2 weeks later, I put in $1,000 back, and then another 1,000, and I mean, I paid it off. I mean, it's gone. That chunk is gone. It's been filled. That gap has been filled. And it's definitely not something that I thought I could do. And I think about just how many of us could have had this type of resource at an earlier time. I mean, like I wanted to buy a house a few years ago, and I felt like I couldn't do that. And that was actually my goal when I went to the boot camp. I was like, I want to know if I can buy a house. And she's like, oh, of course. And I thought, okay, that's easy.
I say that to everybody. No.
Yeah. But I feel it now. And so now that the money's back and that I've been able to pay myself back, those are my next goals. Now, that car situation is gone. And now the next goal is, how much of this savings goes back into the business? How much can I purchase a home with?
How much backup do you have? How much emergency money do you have? So, and it's important that you say that. Like when I say, yes, you can, it's not because I'm telling you, like, trust me, I have a client a few clients that I'm like, they do not, like, they're not in a position to buy a home. It would hurt them to buy a home, right? Whereas if I believe, like, based on your financials, based on this, again, her sad story of my car led to I bought a car cash, led to I have 6 times more in my savings, leads to shit. I walked into this boot camp thinking I want to buy a house, but I don't know how, I can't, to, oh, needed a wipe.
Why did I do this before? Like, why haven't I had this mentality before? My business has been running since 2007.
Yeah. And a lot it's a roller coaster, but there's also, but it's one thing that you've been consistent with is anything has to do with money. And it's so funny because I have to give you a lot of credit for this, Ivy, that anytime you've ever asked me for my feedback or my husband forgot that it's Wealthy Wednesday. Sorry. Okay. Anytime you've asked me and I've been completely like, this is what I think you should do. One of the biggest key things to this is Ivy has actually listened and she's applied. That's why you've seen your savings account times 6 times. You see, that's why you've seen maybe a little bit more peace within your business and a little more clarity within your business that allows you to take a day off for you to be creative, whether it be your baby's like, yo, mama, we need to take a day off, or whether you're like, no, I deserve a day off, right?
And I didn't log into Instagram at all day. Like today was my no work.
Yeah.
That's been like my dream, and I keep saying like, oh, maybe December, maybe January. It happened today, and I've been in PJs since I woke up.
And that's a huge blessing. And so I share this because how I've had people walk into my office and say, I need help, but I give them a strategy and then they don't do it, or they want to do it their way. If you want it, do it your way, you'll get there eventually. My goal is that you get there as quick as possible. And so one of the things that I definitely...
And I considered that. I actually considered tweaking your advice and being like, okay, maybe I'll pay half off. And then it just hit me like, I didn't go to Eva's boot camp. I didn't text her for, these past few weeks. I didn't call her and, take her phone calls and take all this information so that I would, at the end, do whatever I thought was going to work. So I went with it, and I have no regrets. It was the best thing you could have advised me to do.
And thank you for that, because I literally have had people walk into my doors and say, this is what I need help with, but this is how I want to do it. And I'm like, then if you already have a plan, then why are you coming to get an appointment with me? Like, if I can find you a better one, I'm going to show you a better one. And so I think it's important for people to understand that, like you said, you are the business. And for you, it's important that your time is very valuable, especially now with the new baby that you're going to bring, right? And now it's not like you stand alone. It's no longer, she is no longer the single mother. Now she's in a different stage of her life that allows her to think differently, that can allow the support, right? That can allow that support, the unconditional love, that, oh my God, this is what it's like to actually have someone support and be at your level. And let me tell you something, without any personal information or anything, but like, this person was in your life but never really paid attention, right? Like, it was never at this level. Ivy levels up here financially, and all of a sudden these things just start happening.
I was just more open. I just always thought, I can't, if my business isn't running well and my finances aren't okay, I don't have the luxury to think about dating or like who do I think I am? I need to get my life together. And when things started working out with the business, and my daughter started going to college, and I started wanting things that initially I thought I shouldn't want that. I shouldn't want a baby because I'm not even dating right now. I shouldn't want these things for the business because I don't know where that money is going to come from. So when everything fell into place, all the other things that I hadn't really considered suddenly showed up. And I mean, I'm due in May. I'm so
yes. And I still remember the day we had coffee and she's like, I'm expecting. And I was like, oh shit, I can't believe this. This is awesome. Little did she know I was expecting too.
I'm still so mad. This has happened to me twice. Oh. 2 of you guys have celebrated my news and said nothing to me.
Oh my God.
2 of you.
And
you know who you are.
And so that was one. Me was one. But the reason why was seeing her, and it was more of a yes, of course this would have manifested in your life, not because Emma brought this baby into your life, is because when you showed up, everything else that you might have thought you couldn't have right now showed up at the perfect time.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And so when you attend boot camp, it's not, oh my God, I'm going to feel judged. Oh my God, I'm in the same boat. It's the goal behind it is to create a safe space to be vulnerable, a safe space for you to get real with yourself, a safe space for you to be able to ask all the stupid questions that you think are stupid that I think are super important. Because if you don't ask the stupid questions here, who are you going to ask?
And I don't go to church, and I'm not proud of that. I don't go to church, but I assume this is what church is like. Everyone has different stuff that they're going through, but the community is there to support you. You have a leader who you can go to for advice, for all these things. And this is my financial church, and I like it's my thing now. It's like
we're probably both gonna cry since we're both pregnant and super emotional.
Yeah, there's just different financial goals that I have now. It's no longer just the business, like different stuff. And I can't imagine even considering those things without knowing that I can just text you and just, for like, even just like for that push, which I got from you over a year ago. But it's like that, where you know that if you need to make a financial move, you have a contact on your phone. Like, how great is that? Because you took a class, you have a phone number in your phone that you can be like, I have this credit card. Like just the other day, I was like, so my taxes. I was telling you, like, I have there's a lien on my taxes because I made a payment plan, and then the automatic payment just stopped. I don't know, my debit card, something switched, and it just stopped, and the payment stopped going through, and they put a lien on my taxes. And so she's like, pay it off, just get rid of it, get rid of that debt. And I mean, something I'm sure I could have convinced myself to do it, but sometimes you just need that person to tell you, like, you can, you should, it's going to be okay, do it.
And it's for something bigger. It's now for the peace of mind. She's a businesswoman. The least, and I think, who is it? The owner of Amazon says the goal is to make 3 big decisions a day. She doesn't need this petty shit to get in the way of her creativity, of her greatness. She's a creator. She creates magic and shirts and designs and all this stuff. She doesn't need, oh, the IRS put a lien on me because some shit happened, blah, blah. Like, you don't need that mess in your head. Because
if it wasn't for the boot camp, I would never have disclosed that information right now. The boot camp allowed me to be like, yeah, I'm human. Stuff happens to me.
Shit happens, like to everybody. And to be like, oh, no, I don't share personal business. This is stuff that she's comfortable with sharing. We're not disclosing her numbers. We're not, like, every story is different. And there's no such thing. Like, I had somebody walk into my office and they're like, oh, well, what's everybody doing? I was like, I don't know what the hell everybody's doing, because I don't do everybody's financials. I do yours. Like, I could give a shit what everybody's doing. I give a shit that you're in front of my face right now. And what do you want to get accomplished?
And that's the same for the boot camp. So because we were all in different financial stages of our lives, again, some of us had full-blown careers. Some of us were unemployed. Some of us were small business owners. Some of us were bigger business owners. The advice she gave one person wasn't always the same as the advice she gave the person sitting next to her. Everything was different for all of us, but as a whole, we were learning the basics of just surviving with what we were, our income was at the time. And we all walked out of there. I mean, I think I should speak for everyone. We all walked out of there feeling just like, why did this take me so long? Why haven't I opened these statements before? Like, I used to get my statements in the mail and tear them in half, not even open them, because I would say, I have a login online. If I ever want to look at it, I will. And now I open it, like, just because I know how to read them now. It's just even the little things.
And like, I remember, and this happens to majority of the boot camps, if not all, right? Because I can't speak for everybody, where you walk in like, right? Like, oh shit, you're walking on eggshells. And when it's week 5, you're like, does this class really need to end?
I remember feeling like, okay, well, I don't have life insurance now, but can you do an extra week? Because I need to learn a little bit more about that. And, you know, I don't have a trust now, but I will, because now I have a business and all these things that, you know, you think only rich people consider in their lives. I was like, no, I need to, my daughter, if something happens to me, I need to be okay.
Yeah. And so it gave you the opportunity of looking at it from a different light, right? And my husband always reminds me of this, because he just does. He always reminds me, like, when I light another candle, I don't lose my light.
Right.
And so by me by me being able to light other candles and show these things, it allows me to show you that you can, because I don't see you as the struggling single business owner mom that runs all operations. I now see you as a powerful woman that needs to make decisions to be able to elevate themselves to the next level. And you've been running the show on your own. It's been successful up until now.
You're my team now.
Like, and your team, because now I'm like, no, how can you get there a little bit sooner? How can you get there a little bit faster? You know, I met someone today, they're in their 60s, retired, you know, 32 years. And the crazy thing about this person, she's like, oh my God, mind you, she's 60. I've never had any of this. I was like, have you ever reviewed this? Ever? She goes, never. And I said, this is what she said. She goes, oh my God, I wish I would have met you about 30 years ago. I said, I wasn't born, or I was about 8, you know, but I was like, I wish I would have met you sooner. And this is what she said. She goes, here I am. This was a workshop that I haven't even promoted, okay? This is for my elderly people, right? And she goes, I didn't know I was on a Tuesday night, I was going to spend 1 hour at this workshop that I was like, I don't know what it's about, but let me check it out. She walked in there, walks in my office, and she's like, she literally today walked away. She's like, I can't believe that I've learned so much in an hour and a half time with you, more than I have in 30 years.
My initial thoughts, as soon as I felt comfortable disclosing my finances to the group, which was immediate, I'm like, why don't they offer this at high schools? How come, you know, the minute you open a bank account, there's not someone who's doing this with you? Because, I mean, you should know how much you're allowed to. I want to share what the bootcamp is about.
You can.
So, for example, the car situation. A lot of us will splurge on a car payment and then eat cup noodles, you know, for the rest of the month. And so what Eva does is she breaks down the percentage that is the ideal percentage of your income that should go to your car, that should go to your home, that should go to your insurance, that should go, so that you're able to understand what car you can afford so that you're still able to enjoy. For me, my Nordstrom Rack trips, my musicals with my daughter, my splurges are on concerts and musicals for the most part. And
well, to have quality of life, I
right?
mean, trust
so that
me.
It's not like, oh, I can't travel because my car payment's, you know, $1,000. Oh, I can't, you know, eat dinners because my, you know, my car payment
and
is.
It's not like I was doing this every day either, okay? So it's not like she's
no. But you didn't cut me off, and I thought you were going to cut me off. I thought you were going to be like, no more Starbucks, no, cut that, no Target trips, no. And what she did is she's like, this is what you're allowed for Starbucks, this percentage. This is what you're allowed for your shopping trips. This is what you're like. That for me made sense, because now when I spend, that's you're like my little
conversation
shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, do I need, and is this within that budget? And I still do my Starbucks. I don't cook breakfast for myself because I'm always on the go. So it's easier for me to grab a Starbucks breakfast sandwich. And I was ashamed to admit that, but now I can see, okay, if I do that, then here are other ways that I can cut and not feel like,
and make it a win-win in all of the areas in your life. So this isn't like I have to choose one or the other. This is I get to have boundaries, and I get to win within those boundaries, and on your personal side, and also have boundaries within your business, because she's running a business as well as she's running her household. And so she can run a business, doesn't mean she'll run a successful household, or vice versa, but the goal is she's winning. My goal for her and for all of you is to win, to win. You're not playing to lose. If you're playing to lose, I'm not the person to see. My commitment is to see those that come through the boot camp, that come through my doors. I want to see you better than. Why? I get a freaking high off that shit. I get a
We all did. Every time we said, okay, every week we said, last week I called my cable company and I'm paying $20 less. We would all like have a party about it, because there are these little changes that we started making within those 6 weeks that now are continuing to save us money, and we would like text each other and be like, did you call, or what was that insurance number that the person shared? I mean, we got our insurance down. We got our cable down. Just little changes as a team, and we all celebrated. And small as it may be, it makes a difference in the long run. And those extra 20 or those extra 40 was like, just more spending money or more saving money, whatever it was.
Yeah. And so why did I want to? Of course, I can share that I think every success story is amazing, but there are only some women that want to share the success story. If it was up to me, I'd share everybody's success story, right? And so I wanted Ivy to come on here and you guys hear it directly from what she gained, her experience, her fears, because that shit's real, guys, to the results and the continuous work that she's still doing. And the fact that she could be able to identify her success to my success means I can take a day off and I could be able to have money in the bank and I can be able to slow down a little bit because now, I'm pregnant. If that's what her success looks like, that's what it looks like. That's not for you to compare your success to her. And I remember, also sharing this about, you said, Ivy, I don't care what everybody else does. Ivy needs to focus on what's Ivy doing for her and for her business. Remember we had that conversation at Lyft? And
because it's so easy to compare yourself, even with other businesses, even with, with other moms, with other career women, with other, like sometimes even when we go do our taxes, we're like, well, my friend got this money back and she does the same thing. And that's one of the biggest things that I learned in this boot camp, that everybody's situation is different and everybody has different goals and everybody has different outcomes. And I was I was guilty of that. Like, how come I didn't get that much taxes back when I was working a 9 to 5? And now I'm like, I get it. It's every little thing that you do in your finances will make that change.
Yeah, absolutely.
It needs to work for you personally.
So I just want to say thank you for trusting me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for all of that good stuff. And for all of those that don't know, because this is always a constant thing, I don't do shirts. Don't do any of that stuff, right? I'm not creative in that form. I'm creative in other forms. I'm creative in the financial bootcamp spectrum and the financial portion of it. When I went to Ivy and I said, Ivy, this is what I want, just design it, get it done with. That's actually how the shirt started, that you would get an alumni, and what the commitment was that Ivy could not sell these shirts. These were going to be shirts specifically designed for the bootcamp as a community, because I wanted to keep it exclusive. So I'm telling you, like, I've seen shirts randomly and I'll be like, oh my God, you did the bootcamp. Oh, Eva, hey. Or you guys will probably see each other.
I've had my friends and family and customers will take pictures of someone, like at Anaheim Packing District, somebody was wearing your shirt, and I had one of my customers take like a really sneaky picture. It's like, so awesome. Ivy love in Anaheim. And like you said, it's not something that I saw online. So when you see someone wearing it, they completed the boot camp from beginning to end. And you can even walk up to them and ask, like, do you recommend this? What did you gain from it? Like, it's such an easy conversation starter.
And you get that, and then in return you become part of this community, right? And look at how supportive this is. I create a boot camp to help people. They become part of the alumni group. I order more shirts. Again, Ivy is not going to get rich off of these shirts, okay? I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to retire on financial boot camps. I'm telling you this right now. We do it because she and I are committed to saying, yes, I'm not going to sell these shirts because this is something exclusive, because we know you got to earn it, right? And in return, I get to be able to get all my merchandise, my shirt merchandise. She's the person. I'm like, Ivy, I need this so much. When can you get it for me? Boom, like, hey, I need this.
It's a full circle. We're a team. Without you, I can't make the shirts, and without me.
And that shirt is going to bring other women to, there's so many, it's not even, it's the community, it's the resources, it's the, oh shit, we're not on this, we're on the same page. Oh, we can help each other. We all can bring community, and we all win, because there's no such thing as just Eva, or Ivy. It's when I share my light with her and she shares her light with me, we're able to not change other women, because we can't change. We don't have that power. We're able to let them know that it's okay for them to be where they're at, and it is okay for them to want more for themselves. And in turn,
no matter what place you are financially, by the way, because I thought, I was like, I don't want to tell her that, like, every month I pull from my little tiny savings account because I'm always at zero, and I just got to pull from there. And then eventually, like, I'll put some of it back, but there's no system. I was afraid of you saying, like, so how often do you pay yourself? And I didn't want to answer those questions, because I didn't.
The judgment, the judgment of feeling judged. I'm not got to judge anybody, yo. I'm not. I don't stand in that place. And, you know, I check myself. I probably judge myself more. We judge ourselves more than anybody, right? So again, my commitment is to continue to empower women, and actually now men, right? And so, because I know how busy Ivy has been, because she's an amazing artist, she does the women, and I have one of our other alumni do the men, because we haven't really focused on the men's shirts, because there's one maybe every other boot camp, right? Ivy is no longer the one woman t-shirt. She's like, yo, we need big stuff, because that's where she's at.
Minimum.
Yeah, you know, and it's amazing because you can be able to say that. Like, I don't do the one shirt type of deal. Mm-hmm. This is what I do, because that's where you've leveled up to. And the one pieces lead up to the, you know, they also get to grow. So it's beautiful how we can just support one another and know that our stories will ultimately make a huge difference. That's why Instagram created Insta stories. That's why Facebook created Insta stories, right? And so our stories are to be shared in a way that will empower and light other people. So with that, I just want to say thank you for always trusting me, and I love you. And I love that we're pregnant at the same time.
We're gonna like have a baby together. This is the best thing ever. That was my dream. I don't know if you guys remember me saying, like, I don't want to do this by myself. You guys, somebody get pregnant, please. Well, there's like 4 of us. I know. There's like 4 of us.
You asked and you shall receive, and you ended up receiving it in abundance, right? So, for all of those that are wondering when the next boot camp is, the next boot camp is January 7th. We are doing a Thanksgiving sale, all that good stuff. As you guys know, we've been running this boot camp for, I've made it very affordable for a lot of people for many years, right? For some time. I had one woman, day one, she was like, you should have charged me more. I was like, we'll gladly take your money, but that's not what we're about.
It's worth more than what I paid 100%. We did a trade, but it was worth more than what.
Yeah, absolutely. And so in 2020, prices are increasing. And I don't say that just because you guys know my time is now being stretched. And in 2020, not on January 7th, it'll be an in-person, but the goal is to actually do these virtually, because obviously a lot more of my time is going to be spending at home with my little one. And so because of that, right, we're going to be doing some virtual stuff. So yes, the 2020 is in 2020, we'll be doing some virtuals for those that are, you know, sometimes even out of state, things like that. But for those that like in person, January 7th is my next in person. You guys want more info about it? The link is in my bio on Instagram. And if you go to my website, you click Bootcamp and it'll have you join the waiting list, but you'll immediately be notified as soon as the cart is open for you guys to register. I believe it opens up on the 29th. Today's the 27th, and tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and then it'll be opened up on the 29th, and you guys can go on there. So I invite all of you guys that if you guys have been thinking about it being on the fence, I want to save you money by telling you join. We only have 30 spots. Why do I do that? Because in 30 spots, I'm able to keep it intimate. When Ivy started, I think there was 8 women.
There were about 8 of us.
Yeah, there was about.
It was the best. It was the best because we needed that community. Like it was tight. Yeah. It was a good group.
Yeah. And so from that 8, we went to a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And then before you know it, we have 30 plus women in a room. And I don't do it alone. I have Belia, who you guys know. She's there, and my best friend, Veronica, which I love both of them. They're both my very dear friends. And also they're both my clients. And I say that because it's a testament to the fact that when you support other people, you just build a relationship with. And so they also support, they believe in the cause, and they're there every Tuesday helping us out. So I'm so grateful for them in my life as well. And again, if you guys want to register for it, please do so. I want you guys to save money, and I want to see, because 30 people still allows me to keep it intimate. If it was just about numbers, I would probably open it up to like 50 to 100 people, but I'm not there, and I don't want to be there, in the sense that I want you not to hide. And that was the beauty of Ivy. She couldn't hide, and she couldn't hide because I wanted her to see her light. And so in larger groups, sometimes it's easier to hide, and my goal is not for you to hide. My goal is for you to share, and for me to be able to give you a piece of
I had no idea it was going to be less than 10 people, and I just assumed I'll sit way in the back. I'll just nod. You know, like when you're in class and you're like, yeah, I got it. And she was like, okay, did everybody take them out? And I need to hear your numbers. Then I would be like, oh. And then I would hear everyone else's numbers, and it was just like, okay, we're all
gonna be okay.
We're gonna be okay. And we would make eye contact, like, I don't want to be there. You first. And by week 2, even, we were like, it's fine. I'm not embarrassed.
Yeah, look, let's do this. Absolutely. And so again, I invite you guys to really consider definitely taking it. And I want to hear your success story. Like, I want your bank account to multiply times 6. If you don't have one, imagine your account actually being 6 times more than what it is now, right? And so whatever that looks like for you, and the goal is to continue to empower as many people as we can. The day before Thanksgiving, get grounded in why it's so important for you. As I'm seeing, I totally get these squirrel moments, but I have to stay focused. Just understand for everybody that in moments of gratitude, you know, peace, tranquility, all that good stuff, there's a lot of other people fighting some crazy stuff. So the goal is, it's okay.
I'm in my bedroom.
I did that like 4 times. The goal is to get you to win in life. And it's stories like ours. We've been able to get over the block that allows us to have you understand that it's going to be okay, and that you're not alone, and that we're here to support you. And in that way, it's a win-win for everybody. My awareness, my vision continues to expand. The Ivy shirts continue to expand. Hi, honey. And we get to continue to empower one another, right? And so for that, I'm extremely grateful. And for that, every single day when I come home, and I'm just in so much gratitude that I get to share my vision with people that are open to receiving it. And I'm just so grateful that I don't do this alone. Even though sometimes it feels like I do, I don't. I have a team that supports me. I have amazing relationships that are like constantly supporting me. And so I wouldn't have had all of that if it wasn't for the community that I was creating. And I didn't leave it up to the freaking mayor of Whittier. I didn't leave it up to like the educational system. I said, if I want to see the change, I'm going to create something that's going to allow me to continue to see the gap in what women are, not women, but what the community is missing. And I'm going to get myself out of my comfort zone to create this. Am I being judged? I'm sure. Absolutely. I don't care, because that's not what drives me. What drives me is 100% committed to what I want to do next in life. So again, I've taken way more time than I normally do. And my dog's like, get off the phone.
I'm like, is that mine or yours?
And I got somebody. So I love you all. Happy Thanksgiving, Ivy. I absolutely adore you. You know that.
I'll see you this week. My daughter and I are coming to see you. She's ready.
Beautiful. And again, I hope I see you guys. Register for the boot camp. I love you all. Happy Thanksgiving. And
happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Thank you for your time. I love you, love you, love you. Okay, guys.
Bye,
gotta go because I gotta answer my door. Bye. Bye, Mr. Marley.